My way to work. Ooh, what's this? A dragonfly? I haven't seen one of those in a while. So I'm on my way to work, y'all. Today was I don't know what type of hair day this is. This dragonfly is really like humming and hum. So, y'all, you know what? A mother's job is never done. This morning I had to walk the dog. I had to get the baby up. I had to make sure she had her breakfast, make sure all her clothes were nice and pressed out and put to the side so when her auntie's ready to go, she already got her stuff on. And then I realized like the daycare did not put her wipes back in her thing, so I had to run up to CVS and get some more Pampers, some more wipes. I'm like, you know what? We are on turbo potty training mode. Cause this is getting out of hand. Diaper looking full. But anyway, so I had a dream last night. And yeah, I had a dream last night. Yesterday I was like, whatever. So anyway, I had a dream last night this morning. And so the dream was, and this is okay, you tell me what you think this dream means. So y'all know like the little drainer thing, not sewer, but it's like, you know, when you walk past the sidewalk, it's like this little plate, and then when you look under, you see where all of the water goes through or whatever. So my jewelry was in it. It was right in it, but it was shiny. My jewelry was like really, really shiny, and I knew it was mine because one of my, I got a bracelet that stamped 92, what is it, 929, 925, you know, silver. But it was really, really, really shiny. And I was saying, dang, I can't get to my jewelry. I was just looking at it like, well, I guess nobody else is going to be able to get to it either. But it was just shiny. And this guy came out of nowhere. This guy had on jeans, and he had on a white top, kind of looked like a wife beater type, like a t-shirt or whatever. And so what he did was he jumped down in there and he grabbed my jewelry out of there, and then he gave it to me. And I was like, I was looking at my jewelry. First of all, I was really amazed because I was like, wow, he's strong. He's able to get to this jewelry, because I really thought I couldn't get to it and no one can get to it. That's what I really thought. But he jumped down in there and he grabbed that jewelry up, and then he went to give it to me. But then I thought like he cuffed something. I was like, there's some jewelry. And he was like, no, it's all there, see. And he opened my jewelry box, because I have a jewelry box, and he was like, there it is. And I was like, thank you. And then I saw a lineup. It was 3 guys, and he was in that lineup. Not like as if they were going to jail or anything, but it was a lineup, something like that. But he was in that lineup. So what do y'all think that means? That was a dream that I had last night, this morning. So yesterday, you know, before I went to bed, you know, I was a little frustrated, y'all. I was like a little frustrated. I said to myself, you know what? I don't mean no harm. And I started talking to God. But I really don't want to. You know, you ever had one of them days when you just like, I'm so sick and tired, not sick, because I don't want to claim things over my life, but I'm so tired and so exhausted by talking about the same thing over and over again, like marriage, relationships, covenants, and all of this. Like, I'm like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I was really like talking to God, like, Lord, I don't want to do it no more. And then I was even talking, look at that dog running. He running in a different direction than his owner tugging and pulling him while he jogging. Sorry, y'all. So I was really like, Lord, I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't want to talk about marriage, and I don't want to do it no more. It's just starting to piss me off, you know, because when I see things, it's just starting to piss me off. So yesterday I was looking at this video of this woman, and it was a story where the guy was saying that this woman ended up being paralyzed. She had like, I think 3-4 kids, and she got paralyzed. That's a DC cop. Haha, I can get in front of you because you have no jurisdiction over here. So anyway, y'all, sorry, I'm driving. So anyway, so this lady's in a wheelchair because now all of a sudden she cannot walk. She's not able to walk at all. So her husband, after she becomes paralyzed, Her husband leaves her 5 days after she's paralyzed with her children. And I looked at this and I said, I thought I had issues. I said, that's just awful. That's horrible. Leaving her 5 days after she becomes paralyzed, right? I mean, this is not my dream, but this is what I was looking at yesterday. So while she was there and she was depressed and she was going through so much, she even thought about committing suicide. And then she ended up being coached by back to health by a soccer player, and they ended up like falling in love and whoop whoop whoop, and she ended up walking, and just she ended up being restored or whatever like that because of this guy that came along. Between time, remember, her husband left her 5 days after she became paralyzed with her children. And am I saying that? See that? I mean, it was honestly, I was like, that's really good. I'm happy that somebody was there for her to help her through that. Now, the thing is that I'm not saying that it's right, because it wasn't right for her husband, but I can see the love, and I can also see the blessing in disguise of what happened to her, because the doctors told her she would never walk again. But it was a guy who came, who saw her and pushed her, and now she's doing great things because of that. So I was, I kind of looked at that in a different light, but I understand too that, she's still bound to her husband. But anyway, fast forward to my dream that I had. So this guy right here. So when I try to translate a dream, first of all, you got to pray and ask God to show you. So I'm like, Lord, what was that all about? I think the Lord is showing me that, Mona, my situation with the divorce and everything like that, but there are men that are helpful, and it doesn't, because I didn't feel like that this man belonged to me in my dream. I didn't feel like he was an angel. I didn't feel like he just seemed like a trustworthy man. And another thing too, it's not like he took my jewelry and put it on him. Now in the Bible it talks about how the jewels on the crown on his head is the jewels, basically representing the wife. What the freak? What the heck? Oh, it's a good thing I know I'm following this cat, because I'm like, how did they close that? But this shit is open to all traffic. Thank you, Jesus. Because I was going to be like, how in the world am I able to even get there? So anyway, so that was a really good dream. So what I got out of the dream is, not everybody has a hard heart. I didn't get out the dream like this guy would be somebody that I'm going to marry or anything like that. But what I did get out the dream was that my jewelry. Now remember, if I'm translating the dream, I know that the Bible talks about like the husband's head. What is it? The crown on the husband's head is the jewels of his wife. It represents. I'm saying it verbatim. So when I looked at my jewelry that was sitting there, I looked at it like, I can't get to it. And it was shiny too. I mean, it was shiny, and I was like, nobody else could get to it either. But this guy came out of nowhere, and he just grabbed it up for me, and he gave it to me, and I was like, thank you. And I was like, hold up, I think something's missing. And he was like, no, see, it's in your jewelry box. So I was so happy about that. And in the lineup, one of the guys, the same guy that helped me out, he was in that lineup. Like, it was 3 guys, and he was one of them. There was nothing more to the dream, but it made me feel good after dealing with that rejection dream I had yesterday. This was a really good dream. So anywho, I am not saying by any means that that allows me to go out and get remarried or anything like that, because the guy didn't put on my jewelry, which means that he didn't put it upon him. Like, the Bible talks about a man's wife is like the crown upon his head, the jewels upon his head, in that crown. And so I got that from it. I got that maybe my ex-husband threw my jewels off to the mist and I couldn't really get to it, and I felt like nobody else can get to it, but this dude came out of nowhere. And so it made me happy. Like, I woke up really feeling good, like, okay. So I am not by any means, I just felt like, really, like, I was talking to the Lord, and I just felt like, please let me get over, please. I can't get over it. How am I'm about to miss my exit. How am I able to get over there? Why would y'all do that? Like, why would y'all do all of this? Now, my exit's coming over. See, Jesus, this is just ridiculous. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. So anyway, so I just said to myself, I've said enough that I needed to say, or at least what I feel I need to say about, marriage. God's word he doesn't change, but God knows the desires of our heart. And if we humble ourselves before him, he should lift us up. So what I want to do going forward, I just honestly want to focus on self-bettering, and also, like, just being right in God's eyes. Like, I don't want to do anything wrong that would have God disappointed in me. Why the freak am I on this side? This was so stupid. This was so stupid. Now I'm really gonna be late for work. I ended up getting on this exit, y'all. Pentagon next right. Let me take this. I need to get off. But anyway, so that was a really good dream. I really liked it. I think it was an innocent dream, but God was telling me, like, everybody is not untrustworthy, I suppose. You know what I mean? So I really liked that dream. That was a really good dream. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday I really spoke to the Lord, and I know y'all say, Mona, you got to continue on praying, but I had to have a talk with the Lord, and I was like, I don't feel like praying for my ex-husband no more. I really don't. I don't feel like praying for him. I don't feel like waiting for him. I don't feel like dealing with him. I mean, if he was to walk around now, I was really talking to God. I was like, I wouldn't even, I just don't want to deal with him. I don't want to deal with it. I just feel like, why do I have to deal with it? That's just how I was feeling yesterday. I was just like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, Lord, But that's how I was feeling. But God gave me that dream, though. He really gave me that dream, and that dream really made me feel good. It made me feel like, you know what, Mona, you are worthy. And regardless of the fact of the situation, is that, don't think that you're not, because you are. So, because I ain't gonna lie, I was just like, Lord, I'm serious. I really don't want to deal with this no more. I don't want to, and I really had to have a talk, because I was like, I don't feel like talking about this whole marriage thing, because I'm starting to see, like, a lot of men out here, they really don't care. You know what I mean? So it's not just my situation. It's women too that do things to their spouses and up and roll out, and you know what I'm saying, just doing some real messed up stuff. And I'm just like, I don't feel like dealing with this. I don't feel like talking about this over and over and over and over and freaking over again. So I was really frustrated, and I'm like, Lord, I need you to take this away, because I don't want to care for this dude no more. I don't. I love my daughter. I'm grateful for my daughter, but I'm just so over the man that I married. Like, the way I was feeling was like, I got rejected when I was married. I got rejected when I was in the court, and now I get rejected in the dreams. I'm like, what is this? I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. So the only thing I want to do is just have good thoughts, think positive about certain stuff. Yes, I know the Lord is coming back. Yes, I know that this world right now has turned very corrupt. You know, I see it all over the place, man. I see it all the time. But I just don't feel like carrying that burden all the daggone time. Every time I look around, I can't smile, or, you know what I'm saying? I have to be reminded, you remember you're bound. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. I don't want to deal with that no more. So I literally asked God to really, I don't want to think about it. I really don't want to talk about it. And I said, Lord, I'm not even going to lie. I don't even want to pray for him. I feel like I've done enough praying. And I know you say, Mona, God can work it out. He needs to, he has to repent and go to God. I just can't deal with this no more. Oh my gosh, I just missed my exit again. Mona, how did you do this? I'm getting off in this exit right here. I can't keep looping around in circles. I don't feel like that. I understand when one of the ladies mentioned, well, you're not bound, because he says if the unbeliever leave, let them go, for you're not bound in such circumstances. I was like, I guess I can use that one. But anyway, I just got other stuff I want to do. So, what is it that I want to do? I'm trying to get my house. I'm trying to smile. I'm not trying to be. Gosh, what? This is horrible. Ooh, say that yesterday. Yeah, it let me know, like, Mona, all is not lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some people out here that are trustworthy, that may not be your husband, but there's still some good folks out here. But that was a really good dream, and I thank God for that dream. I know that y'all's like, oh, Mona, it was so whatever, but trust and believe me, after that other dream, I was like, and then it was embarrassing because I admitted to y'all in the other dream just how my ex-husband carried the mess out of me in a dream. I'm like, how many times? I'm like, Lord, I can't. No. I can't. I can't. No. I've had enough. And so I was just really like, and I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all want me to be transparent with y'all? Y'all want me to be transparent with y'all? I was really like talking to the Lord last night, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to pray for him anymore. I do not want to deal with him. I don't want to think about him. I don't even want to, and even with, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that give up on your spouse and stuff, but I'm a human, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a woman on that. You know, I'm like, I ain't got, no. I feel like, Lord, he needs to pray. He needs to repent. He needs to do. I don't, you know, your word says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Why am I sitting up here holding on to this? You said that a woman, if your husband puts you away, remain unmarried, but it didn't say that I couldn't be happy. It didn't say that I had to sit up here and mope all freaking day for if I was in my flesh, I would have said something wrong, something bad, but it didn't say I had to mope all day, think about him all day, sit up here and just make him a problem. No, I don't want to do that no more. I prayed about the situation, but this time I was really like, Lord, and I know the Lord felt me, because I was just like, I don't want to, I mean, even the Lord has his breaking point. Why do you think people go to hell? Because he didn't put himself out there so many times, and people don't want to accept him. That God be running after them, sending angels over there, sending people prophets and all types of things over, and people still be like giving him the middle finger. And you know what he says? You know what? Fine. And they go right to hell. So I just like, Lord, I was made in the image of you. We're in the image of the man that you created of you. And I just had enough. I know some people may say, well, Mona, 3 years is really not that long. When God waits for people for over 20, 30 to the rest of the remainder of their lives, yeah, I get it. But, nope. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, Lord, I don't want to think about him no more. I don't want to think about him. And I was asking, I don't want to think about. At one point in time, I used to think about my ex-husband so much that I was like, Lord, can I at least have a dream about him? I don't want to think about him. I don't want to dream about him. I don't even want to see him. I don't. Like, you know how you get tired? I don't. Now, I would like more dreams like that. That was more sweeter than somebody giving you the middle finger in a boot and a kick in the back of the neck. I can deal with dreams like that. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with stuff like that. But people who are not worthy, I can't, regardless if they are. You got to remember that Cain and Abel were brothers, okay? And Cain killed his brother, and they supposed to be kin. Husband and wife is kin. So when the other one throws the other one off the bridge, and the other one is supposed to forgive and forgive and forgive, I get it. But I'm like, I don't want to think about this no more. I do not. I don't want to think about this anymore. Ooh, there go the police. Is that Officer Cox? Officer Cox. That's another officer. He's sitting there too, waiting with his hand on his hip. What you doing here on a Saturday? You know, people can see you. But yeah, y'all, I just nope. So I say this, and I ask God for this. Everything that I've ever done, all the hurt, the pain, the sorrow, the remorse, and all of that, Father, could you take all of that and put it in my ex-husband's hands? Put all of that. Let him feel it. Because I don't wanna deal with that no more. I don't. I'm done, y'all. So, moving forward. So a lot of my videos going forward, I probably won't be. I said enough pertaining towards marriage. Never lied about it. Not going to take it back. But there is a point where we have to make sure that we are seeking God, and that we are seeking God and only God. And I know some of us, we seek our husbands or our ex-husbands and our ex-wives and everything. But the truth of the matter is that not everybody's going to make it in where we're going. And you cannot, I can understand where you cannot be bound to something that is dragging you down, because God does want us to live in peace. Not everyone is going to realize or care for the jewels that God is giving you and you've given them. That's why they say, be careful, don't cast your pearls before these swine, for they will trample on them. So my thing is, I believe that God can work on him, but I need God to work on me. And in order for him to do that, I don't want to think about Slim ever again. I just don't. I know I have a daughter by him. If we had an agreement where if he wanted to see his daughter and he's okay, you know, meaning right in his right mind frame, I have no problem with that. But when it comes to me saying, oh, you know, I don't want to do that no more. No. I had enough. I've had enough. And I think God knew yesterday, because I felt like, Lord, why'd you give me that dream? You know, it was like this dude was still not showing no type of remorse whatsoever, no type of affection whatsoever. It was just like, ugh. And so I'm like, you know what? I just said, Lord, I don't even want to have a dream about him. I don't even want to, I don't want to see him. I don't want to have a dream about him. I don't even want it to be there anymore, where it's like, okay, we used to be in love back then, but that's never going to happen again. And even if it does, like some, anyway, so I realized that God has better things for me out here. He has better things for you out here too. And I know some of y'all like, well, Mona, I'm not saying that you do not pray for your spouse, but don't get wind up to the point where all you are thinking about is your spouse over and over and over and over again. Yes, I know, you made a covenant. I get it. I made a covenant too. But there's more to life than just someone's husband or somebody's wife. God has a lot of things for us to do. And so that's what I plan to do. So I thank God for that dream yesterday, because that guy came out of nowhere and rescued my jewels. I know y'all gonna be like, but Mount, it was a great dream. I don't care what anybody say. It was small, it was simple, it was great. It was great. So I've been looking yesterday at a couple of houses that I'm interested in, and I'm gonna pursue them. I'm gonna pursue them. I'm gonna pursue them. I'm gonna pursue them. I'm gonna see where this takes me. All right, y'all have a blessed day, because I know I am.